Welcome to Workday Benefits, Benefit Groups, and Eligibility Rules. In this session, we'll explore what benefit groups are and discuss how a benefit group becomes eligible for inclusion in benefits processes and plan coverage. Next, let's discuss benefit groups in a bit more detail. To summarize, benefit groups define employee populations that are eligible for specific benefits plans, rates, and benefits processes. They group employees based on different factors, including open enrollment periods, country and currency variations, rate differences, different pay frequencies, cross-plan dependencies, enrollment event rule changes, differences in credit structure, and reporting requirements. The first step to segmenting your populations is to consider how many countries your company operates in. Because benefit groups include the currency, having different country-specific benefit groups ensures that employees' benefit costs displays correctly. For example, you may have all active, salaried U.S. employees eligible for the same plans, rates, and processes. In this case, you'd group them in a U.S. salaried benefits group. You may have another group of employees that are retired wage earners from a subsidiary organization who are based in London. These employees might belong to a UK waged benefit group. When deciding whether or not you need to have different benefit groups, open enrollment is an important consideration. If everyone goes through open enrollment at the same time, you'll likely only need one benefit group. However, if you run open enrollment at different times for different employee populations, then you'll need to define separate benefit groups to support this unique requirement. Some of your organizations may have a large number of benefit groups. However, keep in mind that the number of benefit groups you have is also the number of open enrollments that your benefit administrator will have to launch. In general, the fewer benefit groups you have, the easier it is to manage and maintain them over time. But each customer's requirements will vary. Here's an example of a benefit group. Notice that the active employees in U.S. salaried benefit group has many attributes. In addition to a name and description, on the Group Rules tab, there are rules, waiting period and grace period calculations, frequency, currency, and country, as well as additional attributes on the benefit plans, cross-plan dependencies, and more. Next, let's discuss how eligibility rules connect to benefit groups. Benefits administrators create eligibility rules before creating benefit groups. Employees automatically become members of a benefit group when they meet the eligibility rule requirements. Benefit group eligibility rules ensure that each employee is a member of only one benefit group. This then determines which benefit plans, coverage options, and event rules apply to the employee during enrollment event processes. The eligibility rules both include and exclude employee populations through derived logical expressions. How your deployment team builds these benefits eligibility rules will vary. Some of the common fields that define eligibility include organization, employee type, length of service, job profile or position, location, and management level. There are 6 different types of benefit eligibility rules that you can use in Workday: benefit group, benefit plan, dependent benefit, ACA 1095C tuning, ACA 4980H safe harbor, and ACA measurement period. Your benefits administrators attach these rules to appropriate benefit components like groups and plans. These rules determine an employee's eligibility for a benefit group and a benefit plan, and a dependent's eligibility for benefits. They also identify any employees to evaluate for participation in the Affordable Care Act, or ACA. Eligibility rules contain lists of requirements that you must pass for Workday to include you in benefit processes or allow you to enroll in plan coverage. These rules can either be simple and evaluate only one row of condition rule logic, or they can be more complex, evaluating multiple condition rule rows. In this example, within one benefit group eligibility rule, there are 3 conditions that an employee must meet to be eligible. First, they must have a primary address in the US. Next, they must be active employees. And finally, they need to be members of the GMS USA company and not receiving an hourly compensation plan. To take this one step further, you can establish rule logic at the group level and at the plan level. First, benefit group eligibility rules can filter on criteria, such as all salaried employees, all hourly employees, or executives in the management hierarchy. Benefit plan eligibility rules might filter on additional criteria, such as if an employee is part-time or full-time, or if an employee is in a particular location, like California or Texas. The benefits group is the first level of filtering. You must first be eligible for the benefit group. You must then be eligible for the plans within the benefit group. At the plan level, additional criteria further filters down the population. You must also satisfy the plan level eligibility rules. Now let's review how a benefits partner can review benefit groups and eligibility rules in Workday. Meet Maria Cardoza. Maria is a benefits partner. Maria needs to review benefit groups and eligibility rules to verify that a worker population is eligible for specific benefits plans, rates, and benefits processes. Signed in as Maria, Kai will demonstrate how to review benefit groups and eligibility rules in Workday.
I'm in as Maria Cardoza, the benefits partner for Global Modern Services. I'll begin by navigating to the benefit group report. I'll leave today's date as the default value. Then, in the benefit group field, I'll select active employees in U.S. salary. This report details the benefit group, which defines the employee populations that are eligible for specific benefits plans, rates, and benefits processes. The first value on the Group Rules tab is the Benefit Group Eligibility Rule. As a reminder, employees automatically become members of a benefit group if they meet the eligibility rule criteria. In this example, there are 4 rule conditions that an employee must meet. If they do, then they become eligible for the plans, rates, and processes that this benefit group defines. From the rules-related actions, I can determine if an employee is or isn't eligible for the benefit group. From Benefit Group Eligibility Rule, I'll select View Eligible Workers. This report displays all the employees that meet this eligibility rule. All active, salaried employees in the United States display. I'll navigate back to the Benefit Group page. Then, I'll reselect the rules-related actions. This time, I'll navigate to the Benefits menu and then select View Benefit Eligibility Rule Results. In the Employee field, I'll search for and select Jack Taylor and view the report as of today's date. This is a useful report to help determine if an employee is or isn't eligible for the benefit group. The rule result displays yes, which indicates that Jack meets all rule conditions and is eligible for the benefit group. Jack is in the Global Modern Services, Incorporated organization, an active employee in the United States, and isn't earning an hourly compensation plan. I'll rerun this report for a different employee, so I'll select the Change Selection icon. Then, in the Employee field, I'll search for and select Jen Waters. Notice that Jen isn't eligible. The rule results display as no, and the Condition Rule Evaluation section indicates the reason for this result. In this example, Jen meets 3 of the 4 rule conditions. However, Jen receives an hourly compensation plan, so the result column indicates no, which means she doesn't meet this condition. I'll return to the Benefit Group report to continue exploring the details of the active employees in U.S. salary group. In addition, the Group Rules tab displays several configurations that your benefits administrators define for the specific employee population who are eligible for the benefit group. Next, I'll select the Benefit Plans tab. This tab lists all the plans that employees in this benefit group are eligible to elect. Each plan begins with a prefix such as 401k, dental, or medical. This prefix defines the type of coverage each plan provides. In this example, notice that there are multiple medical plans that the company offers through different benefit providers, like Aetna and Blue Cross.
In this session, we've reviewed benefit groups and eligibility rules. We also demonstrated how a benefits partner can review worker eligibility for benefits by reviewing benefit groups and eligibility rules in Workday. Thank you for taking the time to learn with Workday.